Greetings, greetings, Agorapulse Summit, Retail Summit attendees. It's wonderful to be here with you. I'm going to dive right into my Facebook for Retail Marketers presentation. Let's do this. Mari Smith with you here. Awesome. Okie doke. Should be seeing my slide deck. Let's dive right in. This is my bio and bullets, as I like to say. If you haven't heard me speak before, I'm Scottish, Canadian, Californian, and now living in Oregon. I have been the queen of Facebook, as they call me, since 2007. It is my passion. It frustrates the heck out of me, to be perfectly honest. I'm sure you can relate, but I still love Facebook. And guess what? Facebook recently had a birthday. Can anyone tell me how old Facebook is now as a company? Guess what? Yep, they're 20. February 4th, 2004 was the birthday of Facebook. Now, look at this image. I made this with AI. At the very end of my talk today, I'm going to share with you what Meta, the parent company, the mom and dad of Facebook, is up to with AI. And I do like that they're imagined with Meta AI tool, generative text to image AI tool, uses a watermark. It puts a watermark on the images. So they're 20 years old. Now, the problem is they're extremely frustrating, as I mentioned, right? Many retailers are struggling to get consistent results on Facebook. You can probably relate, right? You know, you have to be on Facebook and Instagram, but it's no fun anymore. Sometimes it is, but maybe it's a drag. Maybe your reach has dropped a bit with your content. Maybe your engagement's stagnant. You got crickets going on. Maybe your traffic has plateaued. Well, here's the thing. Social saturation is a real thing. We've got 5 billion people around the world on social platforms, spending about 3 to 4 hours a day on these platforms, bouncing around between 7 and 9 apps every month, and there's new apps coming out daily. Is it no wonder consumers are in total overwhelm, as well as businesses, marketers, retailers, right? And now we've got the AI. I'm calling it saturation. It's not quite at saturation level yet, but it's kind of getting there with the cacophony of all these apps that you need to use, ChatGPT and Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot and Midjourney and Cloud and Descript, and every time you turn around, Perplexity. So many apps to use. Well, you can probably feel a little bit like this gal on my screen here. Make it stop. You make posts and it's all pay to play, and you're like, what worked last year doesn't work this year. You used to get more engagement, and yeah, Facebook wants you to buy ads. Now you're working for a big retailer, you're a decision maker at a retailer, then I'm sure you're running ad campaigns. But the pay to play is not just applying to ads. You've probably noticed you can now buy this Meta verified service. So on your personal profile, Instagram, Facebook, but now also on your businesses, Instagram, Facebook, and also coming to WhatsApp. If you are a major retailer, you probably have a legacy blue check verification badge, and that's fine. And if you have major volume of ads that you're buying, I'm sure you have an ad rep at Meta and all is good. Otherwise, you might look into potentially subscribing to this service to go ahead and get better customer care directly to a human being at Meta, if you can believe it. Now, Meta's motto for over the years has been move fast and break things, you're probably familiar with, but nowadays it's like this: throw anything, any old, you know what, at the wall and see what sticks. Last year they launched Threads, right? Are you on Threads? You probably are. If you're working for a big retailer or even a medium-sized retailer, you probably have to be on Threads. You know what? We may as well throw Elon Musk in there with his X. Throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. So funny. Here we all are using these apps and platforms, and we just have to go with their whims and their changes and constantly making things up. I don't know. We may as well face it. Facebook is dead. Have you heard that? If you heard people saying to you, Facebook is dead, or maybe you think that yourself, maybe you think that Facebook's for old people. Depending on what age group you talk to, old people might be like 30, 35 and up, right? But not so fast. They're still alive and kicking. Facebook celebrated a major milestone not long ago. 2 billion DAP is daily active people. Used to be called users, right? They call them people now, daily active people. And if we look at the whole family, Meta family of apps, excuse me, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Threads is 3.1 billion people every day logging on to one or more of these apps. However, but, there's always a but. Guess what? We are living in a time of infinite content with all these AI apps up the wazoo, but it's finite. There's a finite attention. People are bouncing around with all these different apps, and there's only 24 hours in a day, no matter what. So cranking out more content is not the answer. Just because we can, just because we can chat GPT up the wazoo or make images or make videos and get into Canva and just, oh my God, nobody's seeing my post. I know, let's crank up more volume. That's not the answer. In fact, less is more. I'd rather come to your Facebook page and see that you're posting maybe once a day, maybe a couple of times a day. Listen, if you're getting great engagement, that is the litmus test. If you are getting good reach, good engagement according to your benchmarks, go ahead and increase the volume a little bit. But if you're feeling dissatisfied and frustrated with the amount of engagement and reach, dial it back. Less is more. Don't compete with yourself in the feed of trying to get more visibility with more content. Well, a sea change is happening. There's no question. A tidal wave of the AI revolution. If your company or you yourself personally are not like really keeping fully up to date with your finger in the pulse and using all the latest apps and tools, don't stress, my friend. You're not behind. You're just as an early adopter as the next person. There's an arms race right now to bake AI into every major platform. You don't need a huge suite of separate apps and tools. Probably you're using Canva. Probably you're using ChatGPT. Hopefully your company is paying for the paid version with the DALL-E and you can make some content there, but check with your attorneys, your legal department, make sure you know about copyright and who owns what. It's a whole other interesting conversation for attorneys these days. Perplexity is wonderful for doing research. Descript is a great app for chopping up your videos and pulling out excerpts, making reels out of longer videos. You don't need a lot of apps. The other thing, my friends, which I think is pretty exciting, all of this generative AI sooner or later will be baked right into Meta Business Suite. You'll be able to put in some text prompts and it will crank out, it will generate text, image, video, audio, music, voice, you name it. Mark Zuckerberg, he is investing billions, tens of billions into Meta's AI foundational components, creating AGI, artificial general intelligence. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I got a little bit about that coming up. I love this quote about Seth Godin made. He's a wonderful marketer, longtime author, speaker. If your work is not more useful or insightful or urgent than GPT can crank out in 12 seconds, we could even say 2 seconds nowadays, don't interrupt people with it. It's not about just pushing massive volumes of content out there. We have to remember too that these social platforms are rented land. We don't own the audience. What happens when you get an outage, right? We just recently had an outage of Facebook and Instagram. LinkedIn had an outage. There's all these different outages happening. That's a bit weird. I don't know. We can speculate. But the bottom line is you've got to be able to use social media to generate leads. Now, ideally, you have a system. Probably your company has either emails or you collect people's phone numbers, you text them, you call them, certainly email them. Or maybe in addition, you have a community app or a messaging app over and above your social platforms, right? It's really vital to have this permission-based contact list. So the good news, my friends, is there are ways to be more original, creative, and effective on Facebook and Instagram. You can take people on a journey, storytelling, evoke emotion, right? Be more engaging and relevant and valuable. Tell stories, be more entertaining, perhaps, quirky, humorous, a little weird if that's on brand for you. Because in this day and age, when people are scrolling, this happens to me. I see it happening. I'm scrolling, doing the thumb scroll, whoops, stop. I see something interesting, a video, an image, and then I'm just about to like or wow or love or whatever, heart, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You get that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, and you're like, that's not even real. That was created by AI. I'm not endorsing that. I'm not going to click like on that. And we don't want that happening to our audience, right? You don't want that happening to your audience where you've put out so much AI created content that it's just become synthetic, all this synthetic media. Come back to the humanity of what you're doing. You're B2C, more than likely. You're in retail, you're B2C, you're business to consumer. Make friends with these folks in your audience. Reimagine your approach. Think outside the box. What if it's not just about pushing out content? What if you're measuring the wrong metrics? What if you were to focus on the 1,000 true fans? You know, Facebook has that aspect in there. They call it top fans. You could call them 1,000 top fans. But really, the definition of true fans, this came out in 2008, I believe it was. A gentleman called Kevin Kelly. You can Google it. It's so awesome. He has this whole article on the concept of 1,000 true fans. These are the people that will go to the ends of the earth to buy whatever you're offering. You got a new product coming out, you got a new special, you got a 2-for-1 deal, whatever it is, you got a new announcement, they will come and line up around the block and tell all their friends about it. That's a true fan. These are the people you want to be nurturing relationships with. So now what I'm going to do is just walk you through my 3-part success formula I've been teaching for years. I've updated it over the years. The bottom line is that it absolutely works no matter what platforms you're using. It all starts with content. Then you need to get some community and engagement and connection. And that all needs to convert into sales, into leads and sales. Rinse and repeat and make sure that you're being consistent. So let's break down each of the 3 components here in our remaining time. And as I say, I'm going to finish up in the last few minutes with what Meta's doing with AI. A few tips on content. You know, it's got to be visual in today's world. Visual, video, reels, but you could also do, you know, those colored backgrounds. They work really well where it's text. The algorithms read it as text and it sits on a colored background. Relatable, personable, compelling, and well targeted. So people see your content and they're like, oh, that's me. And then what I call boostable, something that you've put together organically, an organic post, and it's doing really well. And you can absolutely boost that. Or maybe you have a separate ads department, but they're boosting the organic posts, putting budget behind it to make it go further. Now, you can also use these AI assistants, chatbots, to create content. Yes, you can. Of course, you can. I mentioned earlier about it's going to eventually be baked into Meta Business Suite. We don't want to use AI content to just crank out this inauthentic, homogenized, samey, synthetic, because there is an erosion of trust happening. We don't want to erode trust. We want to build trust. You can put a disclaimer. This image was created by AI, right? Use AI as your brainstorming partner to ideate and let AI augment your work, not displace it. Okay, so content is the first building block. Now we've got some content out there, right? Content is king. It all starts with content. Now you're going to do some connecting. Variety of ways to connect with your audience. Maybe that's what you specialize in. If you're working for a retail outlet and your job is to be the community manager, the chief moderator, the chief listening officer, we got our public methods, right? Social channels, public Facebook groups. You got private, maybe you run a group. You've got these new things called broadcast channels. I don't know about you. I haven't really gone down that path too far. I follow a number of them. To me right now, it's just yet another place to put content, but you can always repurpose. Maybe you're putting, this is your breaking news, it's VIP, it's access to new coupons, it's first to know about a special sale. You could absolutely do that with the broadcast channel. Then you got your email, and then you've got something called dark social, which you might be familiar with. We don't really have any control over this, but this is where people are sharing your content through DMs and text messages and what's called like the back channels, right? So one of the ways I want to encourage you to do your community, your connection, is to think about doing a really solid customer outreach. Remember, we're talking about the 1,000 true fans, identifying your top fans and your top customers, doing an outreach, a full-on outreach, surprise and delight. How can you woo and wow these people? Elicit testimonials from them. How was their experience in your store? What did they love about it? What did they buy? Would they be willing to refer you by word of mouth? And maybe you have advocacy programs and ways to really incentivize your top customers. Speaking of community, I love these 2 books. A longtime friend of mine, Mark Schaefer. If you don't have a copy, you might want to pick it up. It's called Belonging to the Brand: Why Community is the Last Great Marketing Strategy. You can have a competitive edge over all of your other retailers out there by having an amazing community that really gets people, listens well, interacts, loves on them, treats them like VIPs. And then this other beautiful book over here by Radha Agrawal, belong. She's the founder of Daybreaker, if you've ever heard of that. It's a wonderful global organization of people that get together and exercise and do yoga and party in the wee hours of the morning. Well, early mornings. Find your people, create community, and live a more connected life. So beautiful in the terms of marketing and business. And this is a saying that I've had for 15 plus years. You know, content is king, but connection is queen, and she rules the house. I used to say engagement. Engagement is queen. Then we see engagement rates are kind of all over the place. It's up on TikTok, but down on Facebook, and I was up on Instagram, whatever. But the thing is, now we've got connection. You can do a lot of that in the DMs, right? A lot of it goes down in the DMs. So I change it up from engagement to connection. Besides connection and content, there's an alliteration there, right? The third component, the most important component in many ways, because you could do all that work. You got amazing content going out there. You got just the right frequency. It's going out, and people are resonating with it. They're connecting with it, but nobody's buying. Nobody's coming to your store. Nobody's signing up for your coupons or your newsletters. We got to have this conversion component. So looking to see when I come to your Facebook page, do I see it's very obvious what you sell? Where do I come to? Do you have a physical store? Do you have an online store? How can I buy from you? What do you offer? Is it immediately gettable? Call it gettable if that's a word. Are you targeting the right audience? You can totally add calls to actions to 80% of your posts. I've put a whole bunch of examples for you there, right? Sign up today, DM us, DM me, DM us, claim this offer, whatever it might be, place your order. And then, as I mentioned earlier, when some of your organic posts are doing really well, you can totally take those and amplify the reach with a little bit of ad budget or a lot of ad budget, depending what your organization has. Absolutely including the email marketing. Everybody here should have an email list. You're actively growing your subscribers. You're monitoring what's called your retention rate. Okay. So how long people are staying on the list. And then you're scrubbing your list regularly, meaning you're getting rid of any junk emails. You're making sure that people that haven't opened your email in a long time, you're refreshing them, re-engaging them. Your ad department is creating custom audiences to try to get people back on the list and re-engaged. So email marketing may not be your responsibility, but it's absolutely a massive component of getting your social media marketing singing. I'm saying singing to just much more successful and being able to have those measurable results. So a quick reminder, it's content plus connection plus conversion, and you are consistent. So if you're posting once a day, 5 days a week, maybe you miss a couple days in the week or whatever, fine, stick with that. Don't just have a massive gap and suddenly, oh my God, we just didn't post for 2 or 3 weeks. That's not going to be any good. I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm sure you have a rock solid content strategy, but make sure you also have a rock solid connection strategy and a rock solid conversion strategy. Turn all that activity into leads and sales. Right. So we're going to finish up in the final few minutes here, as I mentioned, talking about the future. That's Meta's logo there, Meta. What is coming that you might want to know about? Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Threads. Image created by DALL-E. Why not? It's fun. That looks pretty futuristic. Well, it looks like we're going to be getting these drones and humanoid robots just going to do all the work for us. Well, I don't mind them doing the housework and things like that, but not the actual work. What's coming AI at Meta? Right now, you've probably already noticed on your mobile phone, you see that little write with AI text prompt. This is Meta's generative AI. Do you want to use it? I don't know. I'm holding back a bit. It's fun and playful, and you've seen it where I think right now it's only on personal profiles. I'm not seeing it yet on business pages. I'm sure it's coming. It's going to all get baked right into Meta Business Suite. Why? Because Meta, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg are fiercely competitive and love to dominate. So, anything anybody else can do, Meta can do better and bigger because they got more money. Anyway, imagine with Meta AI, that's that beautiful text image generator. They're saying it's for creative hobbyists, meaning it's not meant for mainstream just yet, maybe. You've got AI stickers. You might have seen them in Facebook, Instagram stories. They're also inside of Messenger chat. Whatever. You've got celebrity AI chats. Whatever. Meta AI chat. You might use Perplexity instead right now. But the two things I'm excited about, Meta AI in groups and custom AI chats for your business, my friends, this is really exciting. If you run a group, you might enable it when it comes to groups. And what it's going to do is allow your group members, when they post something, it will find the answers based on the content already in the group. And then number 6 there, the custom AI assistants or chatbots for your business, you're going to program all that. I'm saying you, your team, the company will fill that all up with all the knowledge base, and you're going to have the ability for people to interact with the custom AI chat through Meta, through Facebook, through Instagram, to be in Messenger, to be able, and probably WhatsApp, to be able to do pre and post sales support, not necessarily to replace jobs, but to augment and support jobs. So this, I've just put a few screenshots for you in the slides where you can see this is the write with the AI prompt. You can write things, have it make it longer, shorter, more inspirational, more funny, whatever. I do think the image generator has, if you get the prompt right, it can spit something out that's pretty impressive. I do like the watermark, as I mentioned. The stickers, whatever, don't care. I can't imagine anybody using these that much. This is the group one. I just put that in there. You might have seen it in a group if you manage one. It's saying, it's going to answer questions by linking to posts in your group, linking people to the post they find most helpful, and so on. So I do think that has massive potential. And we have to be careful and keep those human eyes closely watching this because it's new. They keep putting these disclaimers up, right? It's AI, something crazy could happen. You don't want this to be a disaster waiting to happen where you turn it on in your group and all of a sudden it gives wrong advice. So just got to keep an eye on that. The AI assistant, I think that's very, very exciting because I do feel that you do have more control over that. Not these celebrity ones that I have on the screen there, but your own one, which is coming, Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp, to be able to interact with your customers pre and post sales. Amazing. Good potential here. One quick nod to the AI use that Meta is doing with what they call their discovery engine. More than 20%. They say 20%. I say more than 20% of the feed that you see in your content, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, it's suggested or recommended. It's kind of frustrating because you're scrolling there on a personal basis. You're like, who are these people? Who are these businesses? I don't know them. But supposedly it's driving an increase in time spent. And from a business perspective, you could be having your content from your retail business page recommended to a much wider audience as a result of this AI-powered discovery engine, right? So a little saying for you, I am saying here that with masses of AI hype, volumes of content, some of it synthetic, AI produced, right? Constant push marketing. Push marketing is so 2005. People are still doing that where they don't engage. They just push stuff out and don't even answer the DMs or the comments. Don't do that. You got to engage with people, friends. We need to emphasize connection, relationship building, and fostering strong communities more than ever. Remember that book by Mark Schaefer, my friend, Belonging to the Brand, Why Community is the Last Great Marketing Strategy. With that, I invite you to come and join my Social Scoop group. It's very active with a lot of wonderful social media folks in there, and we welcome new members with arms wide open. If I can be of any service to you, you just let me know. Many blessings. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and I look forward to connecting real soon. Take care. Bye.